Hello and welcome back to the Python 3 for Beginners tutorial, and today we will be talking about objects and classes. So basically what a class is, I'll use an example to describe this because you might understand this more than me just kind of defining it for you. So we're making a text-based game, okay, and you need enemies in the text-based game. Well, for the enemy, you want them all to be kind of, they can attack us, we can attack them, and then if we kill them, then we can loot some stuff off of their body. Well, a way to do that is to create a class and call the class enemy. So we have enemy, and then we have functions inside, attack. We can attack it, one for us attacking, one for them attacking, and then one for looting. So then we make objects off of those, that class. So I can have enemy1 is equal to the object, or the class, and then it'll be an object of the class. So then I can do like enemy1 dot and then the name of the function, and it can have all of the functions. It can use the functions inside of the class since it's a type of the class. So I can do like enemy1 dot attack, and then it'll do whatever's inside of the attack function. And I'll go into a little example here. I'm going to use people as an example and also tell you how to create classes and also create objects of classes. So Python is an object-oriented programming language, which is basically what we're doing here, and I will show you that a little bit more later down in the video. So first we're going to create a class, and you just do this by the word class, and this says you're about to make a class. Then you name your class, and you do, I'm going to name mine people, because I'm going to have a class that you can get the age of people. So you want to name it in a capital letter. It's good practice, so that you can tell your class name, or your class is apart from your functions. So if I were to make an object, I would know that I'm making it off of the class and not just a random function called people. So that is what you need. Then you need the colon, and then you go ahead and press enter, and it will indent for you. And everything in this indentation over here is inside of the class, like usual, because that is a big thing about Python, is the white space and stuff like that, as you may be able to tell. So then I'm going to set a variable up here, and I'm going to call this age, and I'm just going to make all of my people, obviously you don't want to do this, all my people 20 years old. So I will go ahead and do that, and then I will go ahead and create a function, and this function is just going to call getAge, and you need your parameters like usual, but I need one parameter in here, and it's called self. Now what self does is basically says you can use the other variables inside of the class up here that's not inside of the function down here. So that's what self does. Then you need your colon, and it'll indent like usual, and then here's where you want all of your stuff to go inside of the getAge function, or whatever function you're using. So I just want it to print, and what do I want it to print? I want it to print the age. Well, I can't just do age, because then it's going to think that there's an age variable inside of the function here. Well, there's not an age variable, but there is an age variable up here in the class. So how you want to do that is you want to type in self.age. So that is our class right now. I have class people, and it is the age is 20 for all of them, and I just have a function that gets the age, and it just prints out the age. So this is our function right here, and now I want to create objects off of this function. So now you want to go back to the very left hand side of the program here that basically says you're outside of the class, and I want to create a person called Sally. So if I do SALLY, Sally, and I set that equal to people, and I have to put parentheses after that, because it's basically just telling, well, Sally is now a people, or we'll do person here. So Sally is now a person. So now we can do things inside of the class, but with Sally. So I can do Sally.get_age with parentheses, and what this is just going to do is basically it's going to say, okay, so obviously Sally is now it's a person. So then we're going to go into the class person, and we are going to read through this class. So now we know Sally is a person. Now we want to get her age. Well, it goes through and it says, okay, dot get age. Well, here's a get age function right here. Now we're just going to do everything inside of that. So we don't need to print anything or anything like that. All we have to do is run the program. And if I go Python and then classes.py, you'll see it prints 20 because Sally is now an object of person. And yeah, like I said earlier, for this example, we'll have age 20 for all of them. But for maybe a program you're writing, you want to change the age somehow. So now another thing we can do is we can have more than one object of the same class. So I'm just going to separate that right there. So let's say we're going to have another person. We'll call him Jim, and he's also going to be a person. So now we have Sally is a person and Jim is a person. Now I also want to get Jim's age, so Jim.get_age, and this is just going to output 2020 because now okay, so Sally is a person and Jim is a person. And down here, we're just telling it to get Sally's age and to get Jim's age. So, like Sally, it just, okay, he's a person, goes into the person, sees out we're using the function here, and then it goes ahead and does whatever's in the function. So, that is basically the very basics of classes and objects. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. We will be talking a lot more about classes and objects. But this was just to get you started. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, and if you have any questions, I will answer them for you in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.